as somebody who looked like they give fetal alcohol teas. Let's talk about Bari Weiss, who is the jilted lover over there at The View. Now, once upon a time, I don't know if y'all may have known this, and I brought this up many a times on this show, and it's funny how like I'm seeing all the articles bring this up. CBS News editor-in-chief Bari Weiss, once she was hired over there at CBS, she all of a sudden started getting a little more conservative leaning with a lot of the stuff that's going on over at that channel. There was even stories going around that she done fired Oprah's sister, Gayle King. And Gayle King came out and said, "Oh, if they fired me, well, y'all need to say it to my face." So apparently, Bari Weiss back in the day, when we were under the whole COVID-19 pandemic, and there had to be restrictions for people being on TV, and they had to be separated, and The View was actually doing things via satellite, which was a hot mess. See, they don't know how to do like we do over here. They're so used to, everybody sitting at the table and having to have the conversation that when you actually are in separate places and cameras and things are set up, they don't know how to do that whole interaction thing because they're not of our generation. They a bunch of damn boomers. But Bari Weiss was actually one of the co-hosts that was on the show. And this is around the time Nutmeg McCain, she said she left, but I think her ass was fired. They just gave her that satisfaction saying that she quit. But Nutmeg McCain was a part of the show, and they were looking for a replacement. Bobby Rice was one of the girls that was actually trying to get up there and be a part of the replacement situation. As you can see, that's a picture of her in the far right, across from Whoopi. That's when Whoopi was on her big girl days, and Bobby was trying to get on the show, but apparently it didn't work out, and they ended up choosing Alyssa Farrah Griffin. And I know why they picked her. First of all, she was a part of Trump's campaign during his first run, and having someone that was close to knowing all the tea that was going on inside the house, they felt like let's hire that girl that was there in the White House during the Trump administration, and she can give us a little insight on the Trump regime. So I think that's why they hired Alyssa. No shade, just my overall thoughts. So since officially taking over CBS News on October, now this is crazy. When you got a Zionist that took it over on October 6th, and then I'm sitting here thinking of October 7th. Anyway, let's just get into the thing. Now, Weiss has not hesitated to make some right leaning adjustments to the network. That seems to include some new morning talk show competition. According to the network sources, Weiss is quietly building what's being described internally as the right view, which is like she's so damn mad that allegedly, because this is according to Rob Shooter's Substack. Yeah, I was on there finding tea from him, and Radar Online is reporting it, so we can kind of take this with a grain of salt. But then again, when you think about these nutbag GOPers, I don't put nothing past these right wingers when it comes to the type of stuff they're going to come up with. And now, being that CBS is under the umbrella of Skydance, and you already know the links of David Ellis, the Ellisons, and Trump, and all that other stuff, and you buying up their media, how you trying to shift the narrative in how you want people to get their politics. So you go a little more conservative leaning, which quiet as is kept. GOP is on a whole nother planet. Democrats, corporate centrist Democrats like the Hakeem Jeffries, the Schumers, and all of them, they're leaning. Their idea of center or centrist is to lean far right. Hence why they hobnob and rub elbows with the likes of Liz Cheney, where her father can rest in piss, and so many of those other people that they decide to cuck themselves to. It's like, no, that's not what that means. We want more progressives like a Zoran Mamdani, like the way that they think of like, yeah, people should get free buses and universal health care and all those other things. That's what we're talking about. Not leaning further right, but they're a little slow over there on the Democratic side. Don't even get me started on the Republicans. But anyway, to get back into the story, so yeah, they say that the show is being described internally as the right view, which is being labeled as a sharp debate-driven alternative she believes the genre has been missing. Saying it's personal, a CBS source told Hollywood insider Rob Shooter, who writes for his Shooter Scoop Substack. Bari never let go of the fact that The View passed on her. Now she's creating the show she thinks they should have hired her to help reinvent. Weiss was once one of the potential names on the list to replace Nutmeg McCain, as I stated before, as a conservative voice on the controversial daytime show, but things didn't exactly go well for her. Well, first of all, she lacked a personality, so I don't even know why she would think that her soulless ass would have been a perfect choice to be on that show. So they did the right thing by not putting glasses over there on the show. So now they said with her power worded, she has already greenlit development meetings for a view of her own that would feature a panel of diverse voices engaging in real conversation without the on-air meltdowns or shouting matches that have become the View's signature. Well, they don't really do a lot of that, so it's funny how they keep saying like, "Oh yeah, there's these spats, whatever." It's like women, yeah, they're gonna get heated when they're talking politics and stuff. And one of the things that's kind of irritated me about the View over the years is that they got a little too political. They waste they, but and then when they and it's like the show had a balance. Like you told about what was going on in pop culture and hot topics or hot topics in general. What was the hottest topic that was going on? Yeah, they talked politics and things that was going on, but that wasn't the only thing they talked about. Now this show just talks about Donald damn Trump all day. And they'll throw in the occasional view. Well, they throw in stupid view your deals, and um, they'll throw in some Reddit relationship crap, and that's that. And then Whoopi looks like she's bored and wants to just go home. But I'm like, ma'am, you sit there for $9 million a year. You better work for that damn check. So now they say, or as another source claimed, she calls what's on TV now toxic television. She wants a smart debate, not chaos. But I don't know if, when you talking about you want a smart debate, I don't think you're the person to be able to put something like that together. Now, Weiss has launched her news outlet, the Free Press. Didn't she sell it though? Has previously guest hosted several episodes of The View in 2021 and is said to have lobbied hard for a permanent gig, but she didn't test well with audiences. Yeah, it's up to the audience at the end of the day. If they wasn't seeing it for you, then why are you mad? The audience didn't understand her centrist right contrarian politics. During one of her guest host appearances in October 2020, Weiss battled it out against Sunny Hostin over cancel culture, calling it wrong and deeply un-American. While Weiss didn't get the gig, as you already know, like I said, Alyssa Farrah Griffin got the job. Now, here's the thing: go ahead and create your little right wing version of The View. It won't work. Many people have tried but failed to copy the format that Barbara Walters initially, broke ground with, which, quiet as it's kept, ABC wasn't for it in the beginning. But nevertheless, they gave it a chance. The show's been on for like what, 27, 28 seasons, about as long as Law and Order, SVU. So coming up with a right wing version of The View, it's not going to work. First of all, they tried that on social media with Anna Kasparian and the crazy dyke bitch from fucking The Biggest Loser that has a black child, but is treating that child, teaching the child to hate their blackness. What's her name? The lesbian? Well, I did say dyke. I meant bulldagger. I was trying to clean it up, but it slipped out. It came out. It is what it is. Can't take it back. But um, nobody's gonna watch this show. They tried that show with the lesbian who got mad because they was questioning her over something she said, and she walked off the show live on air. And Anna Kasparian was a part of it. So if it ain't gonna work on good old social media, where people are more gravitating more towards internet-based content, and legacy corporate media is dying, and people really aren't watching regular TV like that. A show, a right wing version of The View is not going to work. And wait a minute, y'all had the talk. Nobody cared about that show. That show stayed on longer than it needed to, and then y'all ended up canceling it. So CBS, y'all had your chance of trying to create your own version of The View. Nobody cared. And I feel like in this day and age, another panel show with a bunch of cackling hyenas talking about a bunch of, spewing a bunch of Zionist talking points, those days are done. We see through the bullshit. We already see like there's so many people in media trying to clean up this whole thing and getting mad and saying that they're upset over the fact that, people are kind of getting mad at Israel and all these other things over what's going on in the world. And the best way to handle that is getting rid of let's take away the phones, because social media like TikTok and all this other stuff is where people are getting all their information, and they're getting pissed off about it. So they're mad because they no longer have control over keeping the rose colored glasses on our eyes, and that we're seeing a genocide happen in real time. And Barbie Weiss is going to definitely be one of the people that's going to be spearheading that. So trust and believe. So try as you might that you want to create this show, Good luck, Buttercup, because I don't see many people gonna sit around and even give that. Maybe they'll give the show a chance for like a couple of episodes, but I can see that show flopping harder than you can say. Yeah, I was trying to think of somebody that could flop. Who was it? The two that was on that. That's a couple. Amy Robach and that and the fiance, or whatever the hell his name is. Remember they tried to do a podcast and none of y'all cared. So I can say it flopping faster than you can say their names. Say their names, say their names. But anyway, so I say all this to say, what do you guys think of this story? Would you be here for a Bari Weiss right-wing version of The View? First of all, aren't they trying to copy that shit over there on faux news? So if they don't trying to do all this in other places, what makes you think it's gonna work in daytime? Because slowly but surely they're trying to transform CBS into a more conservative network. So let me know what you guys think of this story in the comments down below.